Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad has transformed millions of lives. And today, we're diving deep into one of its most powerful chapters. Chapter 7 reveals why most people never achieve financial freedom, and it has nothing to do with how much money they start with. Before we explore Chapter 7's life-changing insights, let's quickly revisit Chapter 6, which laid the foundation for everything we're about to discuss. Chapter 6, Work to Learn, Don't Work for Money, challenged us to think differently about our careers. Instead of chasing the highest salary, Kiyosaki urged us to pursue jobs that teach us valuable skills. He emphasized learning sales, marketing, accounting, leadership because these skills create wealth, not just paychecks. The chapter showed us that specialization can be a trap, while diversified learning opens doors to financial independence. Rich Dad's advice was clear. Choose learning opportunities over immediate financial rewards because knowledge compounds into wealth over time. Now, Chapter 7 takes us on a completely different journey. It's called Overcoming Obstacles, and it reveals the uncomfortable truth about why financial success remains elusive for most people. The answer isn't what you might expect. Kiyosaki argues that financial success is primarily blocked by internal emotional and mental obstacles, not a lack of money. Think about it. How many people do you know who earn decent salaries but still struggle financially? How many have received bonuses or inheritances only to find themselves back where they started? The problem isn't external circumstances. It's what's happening inside our minds and hearts. The chapter identifies 5 major obstacles that prevent people from becoming rich. These aren't technical barriers or market conditions. They're deeply personal challenges that we all face, and recognizing them is the first step toward overcoming them. The first obstacle is fear, and it's the biggest one. Specifically, it's the fear of losing money. This fear is so powerful that it paralyzes people from taking any investment action at all. They keep their money in savings accounts earning minimal interest because they're terrified of losing it in the stock market or real estate. But here's what Kiyosaki learned from his rich dad. Wealthy people accept losses as part of learning. They understand that avoiding all risk is actually the riskiest strategy of all because inflation and missed opportunities guarantee you lose purchasing power over time. Rich people don't enjoy losing money, but they're not paralyzed by the possibility. They calculate risks, make informed decisions, and when losses occur, they treat them as expensive but valuable lessons. Poor people, on the other hand, are so afraid of losing that they never give themselves a chance to win. The second obstacle is cynicism, and it's everywhere in our society. Cynicism shows up as negative thinking and constant doubt. When presented with investment opportunities, cynical people immediately respond with phrases like, "This won't work," or "It's too risky." They focus on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. This mindset prevents them from seizing opportunities that could change their financial future. Cynicism often disguises itself as wisdom or caution, but it's actually fear wearing a mask. Cynical people collect reasons why things won't work instead of looking for ways to make them work. They become experts at finding problems but never develop the skill of finding solutions.
The third obstacle might surprise you. It's laziness, but not the kind you're thinking of. Kiyosaki defines laziness as being busy without being productive. Many people work long hours, attend meetings, and stay constantly occupied, but they're avoiding the activities that would actually improve their financial situation. They claim they don't have time for financial education, investment research, or building side businesses, but they somehow find time for television, social media, and other distractions. This type of laziness is particularly dangerous because it feels virtuous. People tell themselves they're working hard, but they're actually avoiding the uncomfortable work of learning about money and taking financial risks. They use busyness as an excuse to avoid growth. The fourth obstacle involves bad habits, particularly around money management. Most people follow the pattern of earning money, paying all the bills and expenses, and then saving or investing whatever is left over. The problem is there's usually nothing left over. Rich people flip this sequence. They follow the principle of pay yourself first. They invest a portion of their income before paying other expenses, forcing themselves to live on less and find creative ways to cover their costs. This habit shift seems small, but it's revolutionary. When you pay yourself first, you prioritize your financial future over immediate consumption. You develop the discipline to live below your means and the creativity to increase your income when necessary. The fifth and final obstacle is arrogance, which stems from a lack of knowledge combined with a refusal to learn. Arrogant people think they already know everything they need to know about money. They dismiss advice, avoid education, and make financial decisions based on limited information. This arrogance prevents the continuous learning that's essential for financial success. Kiyosaki shares a powerful insight. It's not what you know, but how you deal with what you don't. Successful people acknowledge their knowledge gaps and actively work to fill them. They seek mentors, read books, attend seminars, and surround themselves with people who know more than they do. The chapter emphasizes that emotional control is essential in investing. Markets will fluctuate, investments will sometimes lose money, and economic conditions will change. People who make financial decisions based on fear, greed, or other emotions typically make poor choices. Successful investors develop the emotional discipline to stick to their strategies even when markets are volatile. Losses and mistakes should be viewed as teachers, not failures. Every unsuccessful investment provides valuable information about what doesn't work, bringing you closer to strategies that do work. The key is learning from these experiences rather than being defeated by them. Continuous learning emerges as a critical theme throughout the chapter. The financial world is constantly evolving, with new investment opportunities, changing tax laws, and shifting economic conditions. People who stop learning quickly become obsolete. Those who commit to lifelong financial education position themselves to capitalize on new opportunities as they arise. The chapter also addresses the importance of mindset in overcoming these obstacles. Instead of asking, I can't do it, or saying, I don't have time, successful people ask, how can I make this?
Kiyosaki's message is ultimately empowering. These five obstacles, fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance, are all internal. Unlike external circumstances that we can't control, we have complete power over our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We can choose to face our fears instead of being paralyzed by them. We can replace cynical thinking with curious exploration. We can redirect our energy from busy work to productive activities. We can develop habits that prioritize our financial future. And we can replace arrogance with humility and a commitment to learning. The chapter concludes with a powerful reminder that overcoming these internal barriers is crucial for financial growth. External obstacles like market downturns, economic recessions, or industry changes are temporary and often beyond our control. But internal obstacles persist until we consciously address them. They follow us from job to job, investment to investment, and opportunity to opportunity. By mastering our internal world, by developing emotional intelligence around money, and by committing to continuous growth, we create the foundation for lasting financial success. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones to wealth. Chapter 7 of Rich Dad Poor Dad doesn't just identify problems, it provides a roadmap for transformation. It shows us that the path to financial freedom runs through our own minds and hearts. The question isn't whether opportunities exist, but whether we've prepared ourselves internally to recognize and act on them when they appear.